We may
can start, Prabhu, right, Prabhu? Yeah, I think Prabhu dropped maybe. Okay. We'll get started. So, devotees, we won't be able to share the screen, but we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, canto number 3, chapter number 26, and slok number 19 and 20 today. Once again, is all the devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. We'll start the prayer. Om Agnyānajana Gnananjana Salakaya Chaksurulmitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Siddha Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sadagatam Sahagana Raghunatham Samitam Savajivam Sadavaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Sakamitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaunangi Radhe Vindavaneswari Visabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpa Rupyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhavecya Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chevam Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Udityate Nastaprayesu Abhedresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasoke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, canto number 3, chapter number 26, slok number 19. The name of the chapter is Fundamental Principle of Material Nature. So we'll read the slok number 19. Devat Subhita Dharmanyam Sasyam Yano Paraha Punam Adhata Viryam Sahasuta Mahat Tattvam Hiraninam. Word to word synonyms. Devat, by the destiny of the conditioned soul. Subhita, agitated. Dharmaniam, whose equilibrium of the modes. Swasyam, his own. Anun, in the womb, material nature. Para Punam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Adhata, impregnated. Viryam, semen, his internal potency. Sa, see, material nature. And Asuta, delivered. Mahat Tattvam, the sum total of cosmic intelligence. Hiranyanam, known as Hiranyamaya. So translate and translated by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After the Supreme Personality of Godhead impregnates material nature with his internal potency, material nature delivers the sum total of the cosmic intelligence. which is known as Hiranmaya. This takes place in the material nature when she is agitated by the destination of the conditioned soul. We'll also read the second verse also now, which is again Srimad Bhagavatam, canto number 3, chapter number 26, verse number 20. And then I will read the translation and purport again. Vishwam Atma Gatam Vyanjan Kuta Suto Jagat Ankuraha Swa Tejas Pibat Tivram Atma Praswanam Tamaha. Synonyms: Visam, the universe; Atma Gatam, contained within itself; Vyanjan, manifesting; Kuta Stutaha, unchangeable; Jagat Ankuraha, the root of all cosmic manifestation; Swa Tejasa, by this own influence, by its own influence; Apit, but swallowed; Tivram, dance; Atma Praswapanam, which had covered the Mahatattva, Tamaha, darkness. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thus, after manifesting vegetedness, the effulgent Mahatattva, which contains all the universes within itself, which is the root of all cosmic manifestation, and which is not destroyed at the time of annihilation, swallowed the darkness that covered the effulgence at the time of dissolution. So I will read the purport number, translation of the verse 19 again, and the purport. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is a word-to-word, this is a translation for the verse number 19 from canto number 3, chapter number 16. Translation: After the Supreme Personality of Godhead impregnates material nature with his internal potency, material nature delivers the sum total of the cosmic intelligence, which is known as Hiranmaya. This takes place in the material nature when she is agitated by the destinations of the conditioned soul. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The impregnation of material nature is described in Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter, verse 3. Material nature primal factor is the Mahatattva, or breeding source of all varieties. This part of material nature, which is called Pradhana, as well as Brahman, is impregnated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead and delivers varieties of living entities. Material nature in its connection is called Brahman because it is perverted reflection of the spiritual nature. It is described in Vishnu Purana that the living entities belong to the spiritual nature. The potency of Supreme Lord is spiritual, and the living entities, although they are called marginal potency, are also spiritual. If the living entities were not spiritual, this description of impregnation by the Supreme Lord would not be applicable. The Supreme Lord does not put his semen into which it is not spiritual. But it is stated here that the Supreme Person puts his semen into material nature. This means that the living entity are spiritual by nature. After impregnation, material nature delivers all kind of living entities, beginning from the greatest living creature, Lord Brahma, down to the insignificant ant, in all varieties of form. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 14, verse number 4, material nature is clearly mentioned as the Swayonisyu. This means that of all variety of species, demigods, human beings, animal, bird, beast, whatever is manifested. Material nature is the mother, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the seed-giving Father. Generally, it is experienced that the father gives life to the child, but the mother gives it body. Although the seed of life is given by the father, the body develops within the womb of the mother. Similarly, the spiritual living entities are impregnated into the womb of material nature, but the body, being supplied by the material nature, takes on many different species and forms of life. The theory that the symptoms of life are manifested by the interaction of 24 materials element is not supported here. The living forces comes directly from the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is completely spiritual. Therefore, no material scientific advancement can produce life. The living force comes from the spiritual world and has nothing to do with the interaction of the material element. So this concludes the purport of verse number 19. I will read the translation of verse number 20 again and read the purport. Thus, after manifesting variegatedness, the effulgent Mahatattva, which contains all the universes within itself, which is the root of all cosmic manifestation, and which is not destroyed at the time of annihilation, swallows the darkness that covered the effulgence at the time of dissolution. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Since the Supreme Personality of Godhead is ever existing, all blissful, and full of knowledge, His different energies are also ever existing in the dormant stage. Thus, when the Mahatattva was created, it manifested the material ego and swallowed up the darkness which covered the cosmic manifestation at the time of dissolution. This idea can be further explained. A person at night remains inactive, covered by darkness of the night, but when he is awakened in the morning, the covering of night or the forgetfulness of the sleeping state disappears. Similarly, when the Mahatattva appears after the night of dissolution, the effulgence is manifested to exhibit the wicked, of this material world. Hare Krishna, everyone. Sorry once again for not sharing my screen and video today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Devotee, I will share my realization and reflection of these two verses as well as my understanding from what I have heard by reading Prabhupada books as well as from other senior Vaishnavas. So please, and this is just for my purification and to help me. So please forgive me if I say something wrong, or please stop and help me help correct me if I'm misrepresenting anything that is stated in these two verses. Definitely, the first verse was very easy for me to understand and follow. Second verse was very heavy, but I'll try to share my realization. As it is stated in the first verse, that the spiritual soul, the living entity, are definitely part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it is stated in so many different places that the living entity are part and parcel of Supreme Person of Godhead, and thus by nature they are also spiritual, even though they are considered the marginal energies, but they are it's called marginal potency of Lord, but they're also spiritual. And of course, I am by profession I am a chemist, chemical engineer, and this becomes very easy to understand when I compare it to the energy and uh, basically law of conversion of energy and mass, which states that mass or energy can neither be created or destroyed. They cannot be transformed into one form to other form. And which we see in material world, that all kind of energies, whether it's electrical energy, mechanical energy, they are converted into one form or other form. There is, and scientists understand that very well as well. So everything in this world is created from energies of God, and only after they interacts with which is human energies, which is living entities, they are the one who brings all kind of conversion from mechanical and electrical energy, and same thing from the mass. Nothing in this world is created by any one of us. Everything is of course provided, and then we human being interacts with those either energies or those matter or mass, and we create something. Either we are growing as a farmers, we are growing a lot of different foods and vegetables, or or converting all five elements into so many different beautiful things and places. So I just looking at the vastness of Lord's energy, it always amazes me that what are the different possibilities that we can do with what just God has provided. Means God Himself has provided so many different varieties of living entities, and varieties of fruits and vegetable, and everything. And then now in material world, we are even creating so many different things in terms of technology, and a lot of things, and transportation and entertainment. So it is always amazing, and I personally feel that definitely, in a one way, we are making our life and a lot of things complicated by utilizing God resources and energy in a, I don't know whether it's the wrong way or right way, but I always feel that we always go deviated from our real life of the goal, real life, so real goal of the life, which is definitely serving devotee and the Lord in a mode of bhakti or devotion. And I always get bewildered by all those things when I see a lot of things that what we are spending our time on, when God has given us so many varieties already to begin with. But at the same time, after reading Prabhupada books, and of course hearing all the different acharyas and Guru Maharaj, this is also God plan. We are in Kali Yuga. So many things are not as good as what is used in Satyuga, but still God has made it so easy for us to focus our mind, our body and soul on Bhakti Yoga just by Harinam Kirtan, which is very, very easy when you look at it. They have made it so simple. And of course, Prabhupada book has always helped me uh, by reading them every time, no matter where I am or what I'm reading. It always helped me reawaken my inner consciousness to help me stay focused and grounded. So so that's one realization. I'm just trying to compare the energies of Lord. There are so many, and how we are also spiritual, and that gives that. The first time I read this Prabhupada the verse where it says that we are part and parcel of Lord, I never understood that particular sentence or the verse in a such a way. Of course, was always God conscious, but never was connecting myself to that. Okay, it's not just me and not just human being, but every living being uh, and everything that is created in material world is basically part and parcel of Lord. And at the end of the or when the annihilation happens, everything goes back into into the into the body of the Lord in a very very I would say it happens very in a very scientific way. And it itself, when you look at it, there are so many in the universe, billions and trillions of universe, and I'm here in a planet Earth in one place, basically so insignificant. But still, because of God, Mahamaya and Maya, we feel that I am the center of the universe, or I am something great or something very important. So that's also another thing that always bewildered me, that I always get uh, carried away with material nature and Maya, that I am doing something, even though I'm so insignificant that there is nothing I can do uh, without help of course, if I help up so many people at work, devotee at the temple, and ultimately it's all happening because of God, a bigger plan. And still, I personally so many times assume that I'm doing so many things at work, at home, at temple, and this is a daily challenge for me. It's not easy, but thanks to Prabhupada and our temple different program and services, it helps me realize that there is nothing I can do without help of all the different human beings and devotee are working, and without God's will, even a leaf cannot shake from or cannot drop from the from the tree. And time is a little less, but I will just share this last thing that is very close to my heart, and I may have said this many times, but I want to share this because of what is going on in India. Definitely my prayers to all the victims of what has happened in India, in Fulwana. But I have myself part of not this kind of terrorist attack, but the riots in Gujarat, and had lost my very good Muslim friend who was trying to save my uncle and my aunt and their daughter from Hindu mobs who were trying to kill them, thinking they are Muslim because they happen to be in Muslim area. Of course, they were wearing. My aunt was wearing sari, uncle was wearing pant and shirt and things like that. And they told they were Hindu, and they still were killed by Hindu mob, while my Muslim friend was trying to help them because they were at his shop doing some shopping. And after that, I was so much upset, and basically I was angry and wanted to do so many things. And one of the things that I chose to do is to kill Krishna at that time, and that end, again, I'm going too much detail, but that end went on for so many years, 9 years. I was in a complete depression every single day, trying to wake up, trying to plan to kill Krishna, because he killed so many of my friends and family and innocent people. I will challenge him every day. Of course, there's no way I can kill him, but so I realized that I won't be able to kill him. He will never come in front of me. So I will try to challenge him to kill me. So every day I will plan to kill me in my, again, not, I was not trying to do suicide or anything. I was just trying to tell Krishna that you are killing so many innocent people. Try to kill me if you can. So I will do crazy stuff. I will run in the front of a fast running train. I will jump from a 5-story building in a water tank, or I will jump in a flooded river. Crazy, all kind of crazy thing I have done. And anyway, this end went on for 9 years of my life. And one day in ISKCON Bangalore, I got mercy of Prabhupada and Krishna, and got books, Prabhupada books. And ever since, I always miss. I today my life is credited to Prabhupada books. Whatever is written, and that's when. And of course, we read about a lot about karma, which I had no idea. There are individual karma and collective karma, and how they all manifest in our life, and why everything in our life happens because for a reason, and it is a bigger plan of Krishna to help us purify and so that we can go back to him, Godhead, one day once we realize. So point I'm trying to make is that all this, after reading Prabhupada books, is what I realized, that everything in this life is Krishna's plan. And his plan, sometimes we may not, things may not go per our plan, but it always goes by Krishna plan. So I become very happy when things doesn't go my way. I become very, very happy now that it doesn't go my way, and because I know it is going per Krishna's way, and something good is going to come out. So it's almost 8. It's only 8 a.m. So I will stop here. But thank you, all of you, for listening me, and sorry for not able to share the screen today, or my video. I totally forgive me for that. But if anybody wants to, I did not talk too much about the second verse, which what talks about annihilation, and a little bit about how this world causes manifestation. It's not destroyed at the time of annihilation, and swallowed the darkness that covers the person. So I did not spend much time. If anybody wants to say something about that, please feel free to add. If anything I missed or anything I said incorrectly or wrong, please correct me. So I will let some of you share your realization or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandatam, Hare Krishna, Prabhupada. Prabhuji, thank you. Thank you so much for, touching the topic of the hard reality of this material world. Right? I mean, if we see not just now, but for ages together, in the name of religion, so much turmoil goes on, right? It could be during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. We hear the stories about riots and whatnot, right? Gangadas Pandit, at the verge of his daughters getting, affected and whatnot. And I think over ages, right? Over thousands and thousands of years, in the name of religion, how much turmoil can happen. And how you pointed to Srila Prabhupada's books, because most of us do not understand the true purpose of, or the true purpose of Sanatana Dharma. And Srila Prabhupada very nicely puts it. And at the same time, I think it's also, each one of us, should approach with empathy, because different people have different experiences in life, and how they got personally affected. And we quickly jump to judgment when somebody makes one comment or something like that. It's important to understand, people are affected. Like you said, you went through for 9 years, right? Yeah, obviously, that turmoil comes out, it flares up when something happens. And for people who are not in that shoes, they think it's easy to say, hey, you should just shut up, right? I mean, it's empathy, it's understanding the other person is what's going to help them come out of the trauma. But thank you for sharing your personal journey, bro. I think that's very important to bring out how people come out of it, and it's a journey. It takes years for that. Thank you for sharing that, bro.
Thank you, Prabhu. And in today's context, I just and with what happened and what goes on every day, when I never wanted to come to US because I didn't like US and what they're doing at all. Because of everything I had known about US by watching Hollywood movies or listening news in India. There's nothing, and then unfortunately, I had to come to US because my father was not doing well, and definitely all my life I thought that people in US are bad because they are meat eaters, and they do all kind of, they're gamblers, and they're arrogant, and they have everything. They are drinking wine and alcohol, and back in the day, if anybody if anybody I used to see drinking alcohol, my blood will boil like crazy. If I see anybody chewing tobacco, my blood will boil. And some of my good friends, they have got big beating from me. If they have drank alcohol or tobacco in front of me, they'll get a big hitting from me. But anyway, it was just so much crazy, right? And here I comes, and definitely the people who helped me are the same people who I was not liking. And I never hated anyone, for most part. If I hated anyone, it was only Krishna in my whole life. and still he was so merciful that he gave me, his taste of his devotional service through Prabhupada books. But what I'm going to make is that when I came to US, or everything I heard about India was negative. No matter for more, when I say news and different things, people are always good. And then, of course, I was hearing so much negative thing. And this was back in 2002, 2003, 2003. I made the decision that I'm not going to have watch or listen to any news or radio channels or things like that. And will not have any cable connection in my home. And even today, I don't have any cable connection in my home. Uh, of course, this was the day when I had no cell phone and there was no YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or WhatsApp, whatever it is. But still, the news itself used to drive me so crazy, even watching or listening on TV. So I made the decision, and I I I, I thank a couple of my mentors who were mentoring me at that point to guide me in the direction. And but that has helped me so a lot because I have a lot of friends today in my circle from all walks of life and from all different backgrounds, and I'm in so many WhatsApp chats, and we talk about a lot of things when things goes wrong in any part of the world, whether it's in Ukraine and Russia or Israel and Palestine or India and Pakistan, and I see a lot of misinformation, even with this current attack, there is so much misinformation available on, and that is what drives everyone crazy. When you see, you will see your blood start boiling out what is going on. Even in West Bengal, what happened recently. Of course, a lot of bad thing happens, no doubt about it. And we should all pray for all the victims. And I personally feel we should also pray for all the people who are doing these bad things, because that's all I can do. There's nothing I can do to stop anything what is happening in the rest of the world or outside my home. And even within my home, I cannot do much anyway. But all I can do is prayer. That is what I tell everyone. Please do the prayer. And like I said, there is so much misinformation, and that's what drives me crazy with this technology that we are able to easily spread misinformation. But but if you are not grounded, and only way to get grounded for me is reading Prabhupada books or his lecture, or reading some of our acharyas and some of our spiritual leaders in ISKCON lectures, or reading their books. That's to me, that's the only way we will be able to understand what is happening, why is happening, and what is our role, and what should we do. Otherwise, you'll always get misguided, and will do something, say something that will not just agitate ourselves, but agitate others as well. So that's what I feel, that definitely we at ISKCON are so fortunate that we can read so many books, we can hear so many lecture, and even that doesn't specify us. We can go to temple, take a darshan, and have listen to a nice kirtan. So it's so beautiful, and that's the only my force. That is what that's only my that's what drives me every day, is to bring how many more devotees to this Krishna conscious process, because that is not available or accessible in many other organizations. It's not that it's not there, but it's very easily and available and easy to understand with the way the Srila Prabhupada has done. So everything, whether I'm in the fundraising team or go in the express team or anytime I help book distribution team with very insignificant contribution, my goal is to connect at least one soul, because I connected to ISKCON, even though ISKCON was right behind my college for 7 years. I only went there for Janmashtami and Rath Yatra to help them. And Prabhupada Murti was there, and I never even looked at that Murti. I always was looking at Radha Krishna's deity in the temple and take darshan and go, you know. But life is such a mysterious and such a beautiful thing that it brought me, whatever, for whatever reason, because of devotees' blessing and mercy, it brought me and helped me realize that I was doing a lot of wrong things in my life, and hopefully now I can focus on doing right thing. So that is only my motive now. No matter what service I'm doing at home, at work, or at temple, is to how can I connect another soul to Prabhupada books, Prabhupada philosophy, and our philosophy, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Harinam Sankirtan. So that is my only goal. Even though you may see me asking money for temple. You may see me asking, doing thing for temple, but only thing is to give one book to a person, give some prasadam to person, bring one person to temple, and let God do His mercy, His magic with that particular soul, that devotee, so that that person doesn't suffer as much as I suffer. Of course, when I was going through that 9 year of turmoil, it was very, very super crazy days. And when I look back now, everything looks so simple and easy and fun now. Looking backward is always easy. Looking forward is difficult, and living in present is even more difficult. So I will end with that. Sorry, I spent 10 more times. I'm a very emotional person. So sorry for that, and please forgive me. But Kiran Mataji, Chintamani Mataji, Amala Bhakti Mataji, if I said something wrong, please forgive me. And if you have any realization to share or comment, please share.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. No, thank you so much. It actually inspires to hear, from our from others' experiences and how we get how important it is to do what we are taught in this process, and it brings more value to what we are doing by hearing experiences like that. So it's very inspiring, Prabhuji, and really want to thank you from the bottom of the heart in the services that you're doing and inspiring all of us. So happy to have you as part of our team. It's Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Please pray for me and my family so we can continue in the service of Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj and Radha Krishna in a best possible humble way.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Always.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I echo that from Kiran Mataji. Definitely. Thank you for sharing your heart. And, when we have the desire to bring others to Krishna consciousness, I mean, Krishna has already said, right, his, that's most favorite. That person is most favorite for him. So you are definitely there, Prabhu. So, I mean, we have to, kind of pray for each other that those are the kind of desires that we have, which will bring us closer to Krishna and help us to progress. Thank you. Really nice,
Thank you.
nice sharing, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji and Roji. With that, we'll conclude this class. Vanchakalparupyasya kripa sindhu bhavanya patita nam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo andakoti vaishnavinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you very much. Have a blessed and a Krishna conscious day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.